2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage over us, for we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great mercy and truth. Well, salutations to the men of the Hope Land sincere elect. This is Makazar from Train.com. Just want to do a quick edification for the elect's sake. And this video would be, I believe I would call it that we are not immune to Satan. All right, because we're not. You know, we grow in this truth day by day. But guess what? Just like Paul said, the servant of Satan to buffet me. Guess what? Satan gonna attack us from time to time. Just like when you go into the Old Testament, our forefather David, the scripture said Satan moved David to number Israel. So the reason that David run the census and got a lot of Israelites killed is because, you know, Satan infiltrated his mind. Now, don't think that Satan just gonna come and work some, you know, magic trick on you and bedazzle you, put you in a trance, whatever the case is. Now, the things that these spirits do, they actually put thought in your mind. And a lot of brothers, I myself could attest to this, that they would actually put thoughts in your mind and make you think that it is your own thought. You'll be having an inner monologue. You'll be thinking you're having an inner monologue with yourself, but it's really you having a dialect with an unclean spirit. So there you will be saying, you know, not to do this, but then the spirit will say, do this. But then all the time you might be thinking that you'll be back and forth with your own self. But no, you're not. You'll be going back and forth with unclean spirits, seducing spirits. And you'll be thinking that those were your thoughts, but they weren't your thoughts to begin with. The spirit that were in your head that jumped on you, you know, have you, you know, thinking these things. And the reason why I brought out this scripture first, because Satan has many devices that he used to overthrow your faith. All right. One of them is women. All right. One of them is your own weakness. Woman might be a weakness. And whatever weakness you have, Satan will use that against you. Let's say you have a trust issue. Satan will use trust because there is a weakness and turn you against the brotherhood. You will start to look at everybody like they're against you. You will start to think that everybody, you know, up to some act. And you're looking at brothers cross-eyed when it wasn't that way. You think that somebody always doing you wrong when it was not so. Because why? Because these spirits that plague in your mind. Now, where's the remedy? The remedy, as the scripture said, to pray without ceasing. All right? You have to pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? And rebuke the devil. The scripture says, flee from, reject the devil, resist the devil, and he shall flee from you. All right? Resist the devil, and he shall flee from you. This is the book of James. James chapter 1 verse 14. It says, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away in his own lust and enticed. So let's say, you know, a brother, couple years, you know, 3, 4, 5 years, he hasn't had a wife, you know, and his heart desiring a wife, and his heart desiring a particular type of woman. All right, you know, and he praying and he waiting for this woman to come. Now Satan know your heart's desire. He know what you pray, know what you think. If he could enter into your mind, he know what you're thinking. So here's what he will do, or here was what he might do. All right, he might send a woman your direction. A woman are looking real beautiful, and she would come under the guise that she willing to learn the truth. So in your mind, that would be a plus. You know, a woman that willing to learn the scriptures. Hey, you know, go for it. Then you and this woman start getting acquainted. You know, she start presenting herself to be the woman of your dreams, the woman that you want. You know, she doing what you want. She's saying what you want. She's the, you know, in some people's mind, the perfect Hebrew Israelite woman, although it have no such thing. It don't even have Hebrew Israelite women. It have women that be around the truth. All right? But in your moment of weakness, you know, that's how Satan gonna enter your mind. He gonna be in your mind and this woman's mind. He gonna make this woman submissive for that time. He gonna make this woman submissive for that time. And this woman gonna be what you want, do what you want. But then, while getting to know this woman might have a husband. But when you realize she have a husband, you already have a lot of feelings for this woman. And while you don't have a lot of feelings for this woman now, within you, the spirit telling you to, to draw back. Hey, nah, you can't do this. But then the other spirit will tell you, hey, it's an adulterous generation. We under grace. The Most High will forgive your sin. Just make sure she leave the husband. And all of these, and you might be thinking that is way yourself, and then guess what? That spirit will have you searching for scriptures to justify that wicked act. Because why? You don't drawn away in lust and enticed. Because had you known up front that she had a husband, you wouldn't be in that position. But because she already enticed you with her wiles and Satan at her right hand, saying the things that you want to hear, doing the things that you want to be seen done in a woman, you get drawn away with that. And a lot of men commit adultery because of this. In the truth and out the truth. Because why? Because Satan knows our weaknesses. And we are not immune. We are not immune to Satan's weakness. To Satan's you're not immune to Satan's, to Satan's devices. All right? You're not immune to it. We're still in this flesh. All right? Now the scripture says let Satan have an advantage over us, so we're supposed to acknowledge the directions that he come out and pray that the Lord strengthen us in these aspects. But we're not immune. Verse 15, it says, then when lust had conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. All right? So we have to pray that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, the scripture said, lead me not into temptation. Lead me not into temptation. All right? Because we're not immune to Satan. All right? Another aspect where Satan do, we actually try to turn brothers against each other. All right? A situation might erupt between two brothers, and the situation might be exaggerated more than what it's supposed to be. All right? You might ask a brother to do one thing, and then he didn't do exactly what you want. But then you might be thinking that, he just didn't want to do it. And then you're going to start to get infuriated and think all sorts of thoughts about your brother saying, you might say, you always helping this brother and this brother couldn't help you this one time. Not knowing that, hey, probably the brother, couldn't help you because he wasn't well or he wasn't financially able. But you just, when these spirits enter into your mind, they're going to make you think that, he just didn't want to do it. And then you start having some feelings towards your brother, and then later down the road you're realizing that it totally wasn't what you thought. All right? It totally wasn't what you thought. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 3 verse 24. It says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, which them spirits put them opinions in your mind. And an evil suspicion had overthrown their judgment. An evil suspicion. So you're going to be suspicious of everybody for doing something which it didn't happen. It didn't happen the way that you thought it did. It didn't go down that way. But the spirits in your mind trying to convince you otherwise. Trying to turn away logic from your mind. And a spiritual way of thinking from your mind till you start thinking carnal. And then you're going to start to hate your brother without cause. And they're going to bring discord among the brethren. We are not immune to Satan. Before you get angry, the scripture said be angry and sin not. Before you get angry at a situation, try to put yourself in the other person's situation to see whether or not your anger justified. And when you think about other possible solutions or other possible outcomes, then you start to realize, you know what, let me speak to my brother or the other individual to find out if it actually played out this way or another way, instead of just running with what the spirit saying within your mind, because we're not immune to Satan. We are not immune. We are not immune. All right, so we have to fight against them spirits. We have to pray and ask Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to strengthen us, because we are not immune. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 verse 13. It says, admonish a friend, it may be he had not done it. And if he have done it, that he do it no more. And this is how you bring unity between the brothers. Because It might not be the way you thought. So go and speak to him. And if he had done it, hey, rebuke him and say, you know what, you shouldn't have done that, or speak to him and say, you could have done it a better way. But guess what? It's good to make peace with your brothers. Verse 14, admonish thy friend. It may be he had not said it. And if he have, that he speak it not again. Now, you might speak something to a brother. You might tell a brother a secret, and you didn't want anyone else to know. But then you might hear another brother speak something, and it might sound closely related to what you told the first brother. And then you go and snap at your brother, or have hatred towards your brother because you believe that he divulged the information that you gave him, when in fact that what you told him died at the same time that you told him, and he's told no one. And that is what the spirits do. The spirits would actually go and rise another situation that's similar and make sure that you hear it to bring what? Confusion. So we always have to be sober-minded. We always have to deal with things step by step and not just deal with things off of emotions, because that is what the spirits do. They play on our emotions. Our emotions in this flesh is what they thrive on. Because what? It is our weakness. They thrive on our weaknesses. They know it and they will exploit it. Verse 15, admonish a friend, for many times it is a slander, and that is what these spirits do. Many times it didn't happen that way. And believe not every tale. Believe not every tale. Many times it's a slander. Many times it didn't play off the way you thought. And I've been in situations like that where I thought it happened this way, but then when I really, did investigation into the situation, it really wasn't the way I was thinking. And because we let spirits infiltrate in our mind, we let them get the best of us from time to time, because we're in this weak flesh, which is not an excuse, but at the same time, we're not immune. So we have to pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for strength that we could overcome. Because the scripture says with Yahweh Shai, we are more than conquerors. So we have to pray for strength. All right. So with that, I hope it was edifying. All right. I want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I want to give double honor to the apostles of great mercy and truth. Well, salutations to the men of the hopeful and sincere elect. This is Makazar from Trinidad camp saying Shalom and stay strong, Akim.